Thank you so much for joining us today, Andrew. So let's just get your view on the significance of this project, because it, of course, is going to increase electricity capacity of the country by 25% by 2014 and put Kenya on the map when it comes to geothermal power. You know, of course, some might say it's really taking giant leaps forward in the renewable energy space.
Yes, it's indeed a welcome event. This is the largest stepping up in the space of geothermal energy and the first of many projects that are lined up. As you might be aware, Kenya has a huge potential for geothermal. The last estimate I've seen is at least 10,000 megawatts of electricity. And as much as that is a big step, it still doesn't even reach the projected demand of 15,000 megawatts, which is what Kenya will require in order to become a newly industrialized country or a middle-income country by 2030, as put forward in the Vision 2030 plans.
So there's that deficit, and of course then the opportunity for investors who recognize it. Is the right space created by government right now? You've got the feed-in tariffs, which are seen to be, very attractive, but is the right space there to attract all the investment that's needed in the power sector?
Yes, the direction is definitely progressive. The latest development has been the publication of the draft energy policy document, which is the first substantial review of energy policy for the country. So the energy policy document does take renewables more seriously than has ever been taken before. Well, as for the feed-in tariffs, a lot of it is based on historical and existing systems rather than innovations and opportunities. If I can give an example, biogas is one of the huge potential avenues for energy in Kenya, but hasn't received that much attention because it's perceived as expensive. With some of the new innovations, a company called Biogas International, a Kenyan company, has come up with a system that brings down the cost of a unit of biogas from approximately $1,000 and over to less than $200, which now makes it feasible to have biogas in every home in the country and address the real energy need problems for Kenya, which is energy for cooking. That is the biggest energy problem that Kenya has.
So then is there going to be money flowing into funding biogas projects? Because we've had money moving into key wind projects in Lake Turkana, then of course this geothermal project. So is there investment appetite for biogas?
There is investment appetite, not necessarily based on a particular type of technology, but based on an opportunity. When you're talking about renewable energy at the domestic level, we're talking about scalability and business models that can become attractive for investment. Now, the challenge, the biggest challenge that there is the issue of poverty. As the UNEP executive director put it, that one of the strongholds, or one of the ways that poverty is bringing back is the cost of energy. So that becomes a space, the bottom of the pyramid becomes a space that one could look at. If you look at kerosene alone, we're talking of Kenya spending more than $300 million a year on kerosene for lighting. If there are substitutes such as biogas, then this is money that's already existing. This is money that people are already spending. So the space, the appetite for investment is heavily in telecommunications and information technology, and energy can be linked to that. Renewable energy is just a small step away from being linked to information technology and expanding the potential and appetite for investment in this sector in Kenya.
What about competition from the oil and gas sector with newly found oil fields and those finds, many international oil players now wanting to get a piece of that pie? How does the renewable energy sector stack up when it's competing for those dollars?
Yeah, one of the challenges that oil has is that oil is an international commodity that is easily moved, and the investors who are looking at coming into Kenya's oil sector are not driven by supplying energy to Kenya, but driven by supplying energy where the demand is. So if we were to structure it in such a way that those oil revenues are converted to finance renewable energy, then we have a higher level of energy security, availability, affordability, and still maintain a benefit of oil. Because I look at oil as money, and money on its own is not going to solve the problem. We need innovation, we need structures, we need incentives, we need all the different, you need an entire infrastructure that can be deployed quickly to be able to make energy accessible and affordable and profitable for those who want to take part in the business. And I think Kenya is at a new stage of innovation. I go back to the telecommunication sector, where 20 years ago we had two models. We had the Kenya Power and Lighting Company, and we had the Kenya Posts and Telecommunication Company. Yeah. And they both had the same objective of taking poles with wires to people's houses, to give them houses and businesses, to give them, on the one hand, energy, on the other hand, telecommunication. Come 2000, and with the introduction of mobile technology, telecommunication is deployed to now more than 28 million people, while energy or electricity is still in the realm of barely over 1.5 million households.
Yeah, Andrew, so I'm going to have to interrupt you there because we have run out of time, but you make a very important point there, you know, the role of innovation in getting power to those 32 million households in Kenya that still don't have access to power. Thank you so much. Great to have you on the show today, Andrew Amadi, COO of Renewable Energy Ventures, talking about investment prospects in Kenya's growing energy sector.